peeps, this is my dual booting system. It's the Dell Optiplex 7020, which is an i5 4590 3.3 GHz. It's got 16 GB of RAM in it. It's got GT1030 Low Profile MSI Overclocked edition. It's got 250 gig SSD drive for Windows, when you boot into Windows. It's got a 1 TB hard drive for games for Windows. It's got a 2 TB hard drive for Batocera. Basically what you do, you plug the USB stick in and it'll have this system in there. So it probably takes about 30-40 seconds to boot up. It's not really quick to boot up. You take your USB stick out, boot Windows up, it runs on the SSD drive, and it looks a bit of an older system. It will load Windows up in about 7 or 8 seconds. It's pretty quick. It's run off the SSD drive. But what I'll do firstly, we've been moving about. I'll go down to red button. For those who don't know, a little quick tip for you: if you press the red button, it brings up all your different manufacturers basically. So you can, if you want to go to the PlayStation, you can go straight down to it. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to load God of War 2 up, because it takes about 14 hours to load up. So yeah, basically this has got the dolphin bar with a Wii with it, with the Wii games. I put a few PC games on that I'll show you as a demo. Some of them are my Steam games that I'm going to have to obviously delete off. Some of them I can leave on, as they're like just a bonus little game for you. I've changed the system about recently. I've changed the DS, I'll show you that in a minute. I've took a load of DS games off and put some 3DS games on. Get a bit better quality. But I'll just show you basically how the PS2 runs and some of a few systems. I'm not going to click on everything. Obviously it'll easily run the older systems. So there you go, that's loaded. Now, if you didn't know, right, firstly I'll show you about the bezels and stuff on the side. But if you didn't know, if you press your Xbox button, this is set as an Xbox button, as a Xbox 360 controller. If you press your Xbox button and your blue cross button, it will automatically save it no matter where you are, and then you can quickly load that save state up by pressing your Xbox button and your yellow Y button. So I'll do that now. So straight into the game. And I'll show you how quick that works. It don't work so quick on God of War 2 because it takes probably ages to load up. But it's really handy. If you've got to quickly rush out somewhere, you can just save your game whenever you want, or you're stuck at a bit. This is running on 720p, it's one of the harder games to run on the PlayStation 2. So I'll quit that now. I'll quickly show you something else. So first of all, we'll right, go down to the Superbikes. I know this one's fun. So if you press and hold the A button on a game, you can come into Advanced Games Operations. You can change the emulator. On this you only got Liberto and PSX2, it's on PSX2 as a standard. Sometimes if a game doesn't work, depending on how many emulator cores you've got, you can come in here and try a different core in it. Say Saturn is one of them. There's 3 different cores in there, and one core will load as one game, a couple of cores, one core will load another game. If you're having trouble, try a different thing. You can't mess anything up by going into it. Same with this PlayStation 2 rendering resolution. Come in. I always leave them on the lowest setting because I want everything to run right. So even though God of War runs at 720p and it's hard, some other games, there's like Need for Speed that won't run full speed on it. And that's down to the Batocera is a Linux based system obviously, and the PSX2 emulator isn't fully optimised for Batocera, down to your Vulkan and your different DirectX versions. It's just not optimised fully for it. If you go into Windows and download the PSX2, it runs a lot better on the same system. It runs a lot better through Windows than it does on Batocera. But there was a big update a few weeks back for the PC, for the PSX2, which made it a lot better. Hopefully that'll transfer onto Batocera. I'm sure it will, because Batocera is really popular and it's becoming even more popular all the time. So now I've changed this to 1080p, so we'll load this and we'll show you this. You know, God of War 2 takes ages. There's an odd game that takes a while. Gran Turismo 4 takes a while. Certain games take a while to load up, but a lot of the PlayStation 2 games will load up less. So I'll quickly show you the save state and stuff, and quickly show you. I'll put that on 1080p. Remember that, so it's some games you can mess about with. If you really like the game, you want to try and nudge it up a set on the resolution. You might be able to knock it up one or two, make it play better. I'll also show you, if you don't like the bezels around the outside, well, the PlayStation 2 sort of thing, I'll show you how to get rid of them, and I'll show you something else in a minute. I'll just quickly get into this game. And I'll show you how the save state, how quick, in fact I might have a save state on this. No, I haven't. But you'll get a lot of the games that will work on PlayStation 2 in 1080p. But there's certain ones, down to the emulation is. The Xbox emulator's not great either. Once the good thing about Batocera is, once there's an update, it does it all for you. You don't going to do anything. Basically, it'll come up and tell you update, yeah, click it, update it, and it'll just set it. So if an Xbox, if a new update comes out for the Xbox emulator, it will automatically put it in. So a game that doesn't work very well now, in the future, might run absolutely perfectly. A lot of the games run fine on the Xbox. Same with the PlayStation 2, most of them run fine, but there's certain ones that struggle. You might get a bit of like an odd lag spike on them and stuff like that, but like I say, it's mainly down to it being on Batocera. So anyway, that's 1080p. So what I'll do, I'll make a save game here, so save state here, so it's Xbox and Blue. And then we'll reset, and we'll quit out the game. I don't know whether that works, because it usually tells me. What we'll do here, go into the advanced game options. Basically the bezels around the outside are in the decorations. So if you come in here, there they are there. If you don't want them bezels on, and this applies to all the systems, you can click none. Also, if you're going to heads up display, you can click the performance box on, which will tell you how fast your game's running at. I do this a lot for testing games, and it's what you can do as well if you want to. There you go, look, bottom left hand corner, it's telling you it's running at 60 frames a second or more. Child save state, there you go. Move straight back in, that's how quick it works. But if you see that, because I've gone on 1080p, it was dropping. When you get a lot of bikes on, like now, you can see the frame rate's dropping. So, you can come back out of it, click it, drop it down one to 720. Like I say, I set most of them at a setting that I know it will run every game at. So basically, there's a lot of manoeuvrability. If you want to try certain games at a higher resolution, just go in and try them. If you put that heads-up display and you can see how fast it's running, quickly load the save state up again. And it's still dropping there. So you might have to go with native resolution, but that's how you test your games. If you want to see it run better. And it's only because there's so many bikes on the screen at once, that's how you take them out. So anyway, if you notice, if you get a system like this, and it's got the little box in the bottom corner that's driving you mad, you come in here, like I say, decorations, heads up display, put it on auto or not. And it's same with that. And also, if you want to, if you're going to start, or you can do it here actually, you can press select while you're in there, go into advanced system options. That basically changes it for everything in the PlayStation 2. So if you know everything will run at 720p, which it won't, but if you do know that, you can just click that and it'll run every game at 720p. If you don't want any of them decorations on any game, come in here, decorations chat, click it on none, and now that's took it off every game. So now if I load that up, it won't have the decorations on the side of the bezels. It's full screen. But obviously it puts it as the 4:3 resolution. A lot of them, I don't know if you can do it on PlayStation 2. I'm not going to mess about too much. I'm going to make a video showing of all the different settings and that. But if you come into TV mode, you can put it onto 16:9 there, and also some of them have a widescreen hack. I know widescreen patches will be in there. So basically, it makes it look, instead of looking to stretch, it'll add the picture. And we'll try that now quickly. Like I said, I don't want to get too much into the setting up because there's a lot of stuff you can do on it. So if you go TV mode, 16:9. I know on the GameCube, I've had a couple of odd games that it will cause like graphical issues with, which it says it's not perfect. So now this is, there you go, it's widescreen. Looks really good actually, to be fair. I've got it running on my big telly, main telly while I'm recording. So yeah. So you can do all that sort of stuff if you want. Try that on every game. You might find odd one that'll start having graphical issues. If you do, then you go and turn that widescreen on. Nice. You can mess about all the games, you know. But I tend to try and find a niche where everything runs okay. You know, it's really hard to get everything working in so many games. Another thing that I just noticed. King of Fighters, look, Meow Wave. Make sure my internet's in. There's no box art for it. So, again, I'm not going to get into this too much, but if you do find stuff like that, you can look for the box art and it's there. So you click it, download it, so it's there. Download the video. You can have it set to do a full system. If you go down onto Scraper, you can click that scrape now and it will do full system. You can choose all that. Again, I'm not going to get into all that because I'm going to do that in a different video. I've got enough track here, so anyway, that's your PlayStation 2. So what I'll do, I'll go back to the start. Now I'll put shoot in, because there's a lot of people like shoot. If you press this start button, go to game collection settings, go down a million miles. Automatic game collections, you can put all these on. A lot of people will sell these systems with all these ticked, so it looks like there's millions of systems on it. Well, I don't agree with all that, it's crap for me. They'll put this on like PlayStation 1 and PlayStation 2 and there's like 10-20 games in each one and it's absolutely pointless. There's just so many, it takes you an hour to get to where you want to go, so I don't want all that. CPC, they haven't got videos on. Basically just pictures. I'm not going to click on all the games. Main, you will get the odd game in main don't work. Basically what I did, I've got probably 10,000 main games. I'll put this on as a 2,500 collection. What I did is I run it through a program that basically split it so you didn't get all repeat ROMs. They're all individual ROMs. People will sell these systems and put it on and they'll be like Action Fighter there, you'll have 10 versions, Religion A, Religion 1, Religion B, whatever, all that. Basically what they do name, because there's a lot of ROM packs out and you get a lot of issues with certain ROM packs only run a certain cores. I literally Googled, when I first started building them, I Googled which was the best ROM set for Batocera at the time, and to run with the cores that was incorporated with Batocera, and I put the best ROM set on there. I've got loads of different ones, so but I'm not saying that this will be perfect, your main, but it'll be as selectable and put screens in. It'll be as good as you're going to get, I believe. Like I say, a lot of people say, oh, it's got 10,000 main games on this one, and some people sell a bloody little console X Pro and say there's 60,000 games on them and all that. It's a load of crap. There's just repeated games, hacked games and all that. Well, I don't agree with all that. I just want all the original stuff. So I'm not clicking on everything. Atari 2600. 5200. There's only so many systems that haven't got that. I think the Atari is one of the main ones. You'll get a lot in there, like Atari ST and stuff like that, which are in there. That haven't got the videos, they'll just be pictures, but I'd probably say there's about 90% of the games have got like the actual videos and everything in them. I've gone through everything. download them. So another thing, when you get these other consoles, they'll just fill them up with thousands of games, saying like I've got BBC, I've got Commodore 16, I could put 150,000 games on it. But you know, it's just all superficial crap basically. They don't work, a lot of them don't work. At this Atari ST, that were 3,500 games at one point. And I went through them all, there were loads of foreign games, there were loads of games that didn't work, so I just cut it all down, and even still now, we will find games in here that won't work. So let's all over. Sometimes when you load an Atari ST game up, it will go to the menu. I'm hoping it will, well it's not going to. It will go to the menu like the operating system, and you have to double click on the program file to make the game load up. Y button when you're on the Atari ST will bring up the virtual keyboard. Now if you press your blue button, your X button, it will go through your different things like that. Put your numbers on and whatever else. Sometimes you might need a press of the space button, so you come in here in your virtual keyboard and press space or return or whatever else it wants to do. There is, in fact, yeah, it's that you press your shoulder button, then it goes through, so you've got your space button and all that sort of stuff there. You can use your normal keyboard as well on the Atari ST, I think. You don't need it. But anyway, I'm not messing about going through all games, so I'll come back out to that and load it up in the background. I'll try one, let's do a random one. I'd like to show you the menus at the start. It does it on a lot of games, but you will get, like with the old computers, the Atari ST, Amiga, Commodore 64, you're going to get games that don't work. There's some games that like that you'll think, oh, they're not loading up, they'll freeze, they take bloody ages to load up. That's got to go through anyway. But the consoles are basically pretty much faultless. It's the old PCs. I'm not going to lie and say every single game works, like a lot of people will get rid of these systems. Atari 7800. So I'm not clicking on all games, they'll all load. Pretty much all your old consoles load. There we go. So I'm not stopping it anymore. Just a showcase of it. Tilings. When you use your handhelds, it'll put the bezels on, so it's not so stretched. You imagine this little game on the screen here being full screen, it'd be all stretched and it'd look crap basically. So yeah, come out. There's the Jaguar. No, it's okay. A little cool. Wonderswan and Wonderswan colour, both. It was toyed with not putting them on. There's a lot of Japanese games in there, but there's also a lot of games that have been translated into English. There's also English games on them as well, so I stuck with them. And ColecoVision, Amiga, FIFA, classic there. Old Amiga again, same, you might get issues with these, but I've just pressed a random game there, Baba Yaga. On this I believe it's your back button, will bring your virtual keyboard up. Again, you might go to a certain screen that needs a nudge at space button, so you come down like here, it's saying you need things, so you go in, come down one for English, and then it'll load up and do whatever else. You can do your, like now you probably use your mouse, there you go. You can do your redefining your keys and stuff as well in like that. Also as well, another thing I'll show you in here. If you've got a game that's not working, the joystick, but you know what the keys are by redefining them or something, every single console, if you hold and press that game, you can create a pad to key profile for each game and save it. So basically, if you know up's W, you can come in here and put up to W. Left would be A, you know, like your WASD, you can change that to A. Change your buttons here, A and B, whatever else, and then you go down and save it, and it would automatically load that file up for you. Oops, I didn't mean to save that, so that's, just screw that up, I can change that, I can reset it. Commodore 64, 8,000 games. It's one that I'd like to really go through, but I haven't. There's a lot, I've clicked on games in here that don't work, I've clicked on loads of games that do work. you know, I'll just do a random game there. I'll be on. I don't like that. Look at that. I'll do one that looks off. There you go. We'll see if it works. Same again with this. I will leave it to your back button. I'll bring your thing up. Sometimes you might need to press space. Sometimes you might need to press you run start or return. Some of these games, even though obviously you're running them on a lot more powerful PC, they still take a long time to load up. You know, look, cheat mode you can put on if you want it. A lot of them old games will have that built into it. There you go, spacebar, I'll fire to start. Okay, graphics on that. Sound effects, great. So anyway, yeah, like I say, I'm not going to bullshit and say that every single game works. There's 8,000 games in there, and I can guarantee you I'll probably only loaded 40 or 50 of them. I'm not going for it. Going to go for every single. I like with systems like that, say Amiga CD, you'll find I've been for every game to make sure it loads on a lot of them. I haven't been through them all. It's a lifetime job to get everything working right. But I'm pretty sure like stuff like this with the old consoles, your Amiga, or your Segas, or your Super, your Nintendos and everything like that, everything all perfect. Like I said, I don't want to get lost away too much on this, so I want to show the PC on it as well. I don't want the video to be like 85 hours long. I don't know whether that's locked up there. Could well have done. Let's just try something here. Advanced game options, emulator. See, if one game doesn't work, you can go in and try a different emulator. That accounts for loads of the different systems. So there we go. That might be one game that doesn't work. Might be one that slipped through back or one. We tried it from. It might even be down to the emulator, the core here, I don't know. I know that definitely some of most of these CD32 games work, so I played them. But I mean, I'm not going to edit the video out and hide the fact that you're going to get odd games that don't work on it. I'd rather show you people that so they know. Emulation ain't perfect, you know. Anyway, like I say, I'm not stopping on channel F. Scum VM, 219 games. If you like your own point and click adventure games, it's a good system. All the old point and click games, a lot of stuff on here for kids as well, like these blues activities things. It's a really good system, that is, to be fair. In fact, if I go in there, same with this, I know full well. I set it up on another system, and I don't believe I saved the file over to this. But I know most of them work on the Liberto Scum VM. If you click it and there's a game that doesn't work, let's try one for instance. And there's a game that doesn't work, I know full well every single game works in here on one core or the other, because I've been through and set every single game. If they didn't work, I deleted it. So it's just like that, stuff like that, where I know I've spent a lot more time than a lot of people do on these systems. I probably spent like 3 or 4 nights after work going through every single game to make sure it worked in each system and stuff like that. In television, Xbox now then, that's what I say. I know full well if you load a driver up or Far Cry, there's a load of graphical issues with it. But then you'll load, I don't know, there's Grand Theft Auto in here, have a look at that. One of the best Grand Theft Autos ever. San Andreas. So most of these Xbox games run perfectly. There's a few that don't work. There's they work. They've got graphical issues. And like I say, I've left them on there. Hopefully, they'll update the Xbox emulator more. They'll get it working better, and everything will be hunky-dory. So that's why I've left them on. Some are good games for the Xbox. All the games save as well. Like I say, you've got your auto save sort of thing. What you see, which works on a lot of systems. It might work on this one. Oh no, probably won't on Xbox X. But most of your how do you pedal on it? Most of your systems have that auto save, T-save slot in it. Come out of that. Halo 2, they run fine. I'll just have a quick look through the games so you can see what's on here. There's not all the artwork available for the Xbox and stuff. Anyway, that's sort of through them. Graphics 16, NES, 27. Like I say, you get other systems, you get Nintendo, there'll be 5,000 games in it. And what you'll come down to is 720 there, you'll have 10 different versions of it, activations and everything else. Well, I don't agree with all that crap, I take all that out. Game Boy 830 games, Super Nintendo 811, 64 315, it's one of my favourite systems, 64. And what I've got here, if you go into your select advanced system options, I've set all these at 1920 by 1440, which is basically 1080p. It's a bit of a bodge resolution on it, but it will run on your 1920 by 1080 telly, and every game I've tried runs fine at 1920 by 1080p. You have zero. They all run full speed at 1080p. So. There you go, absolute classic there, GoldenEye. I've set this up as well with a controller. It's a little bit awkward to emulate the 64 controller on GoldenEye because of how the controller was, where the thumbstick was. It was the sort of middle, so it was a bit awkward to get. Well, I set it all up so it runs really good. What you do is press start. Go on to controller style, you want 1.2 solitaire. And then it's your left thumbstick, right thumbstick turns, your right trigger shoots. As it's set, it's not great the way the standard controller's set. Oh, and I've got fingers up. The invert aim which I hate. So you turn that as well. Which is in the settings somewhere. I can't see it for looking. Look up and down, reverse. Alright. That's better now, up and down. And the left trigger as well. To that. I'll do a random game here so you can see that I'm not just loading a game and popping in that works. If you hold blue on, it will go to a random game. It's 2000.
EA Sports. It's in the game.
I think pretty much the only game that you might have hassle with running, you'll have to mess about with the different cores on it. I've not really had a look to it for is Rogue Squadron, because I know that was always a pain. I know I got it working on it in the end, but on a different system.
Welcome to EA Sports Supercross, coming to you live from Anaheim, California. I'm your next.
So the bezel's on. That's 64 as well. So and system options, decorations, heads-up display, put it on auto or not. Game Boy Color, GameCube. One that a lot of people check on here to see your speed is. Oh, I'm not too far. Is F0, but to be fair, one of the main ones I've checked, and I put this on 1080p, I believe. It's a good one to check. You've gone. You might need to knock it down a resolution. That's just me testing it. Put it on 1080p and it seemed to run fine at the start. I'll get your little bezel in the bottom corner. But I know there's certain games like F0 is one that a lot of people test. But what you'll find with F0 in the menu, it'll look like it's sort of you're getting losses in sound, and it'll be crackling and as if it's not going to work right, and then the game loads and it's fine. It'll run at 60 frames a second, but you get the odd lag spikes as well in F0 on certain resolutions.
The more game we bag, the more we get paid.
That's set up 60 frames a second. Might get odd drop in it when it goes when it starts getting a bit intense, but we'll do a random game on GameCube. I believe this will be set on the standard resolution. I put the widescreen back on this, but it looks like so. This might, I think I remember now when I looked at that. This is one that I believe the widescreen app gives it graphical issues.
Let's go.
I'm pretty sure it is. So I turned the widescreen app off, so it looks a little bit stretched on it.
Welcome.
Hit the gas right when the light goes green and you'll jump off the line.
I don't want to make the video too loud.
3, 2, 1,
Tricks and that to do it.
You passed that buoy correctly.
So we'll come out to that. About all the widescreen hacks and how you set it up and how you can quickly check it and everything else. Game Boy Advance, Nintendo DS. Same with the DS, I had 3,500 games in it and it was just ridiculous, you know. So what I did, I went online and I put top 150 Nintendo DS games in. And I picked them and then I added a few more that I thought would be quite popular games. So your right thumbstick moves your stylus pen, whatever they call it.
3, 2.
But there's odd game on here that's not like Mario Kart and that sort of stuff. That's that. Yeah, there's 293 games in there. I put 150 top games and then there were loads of more different stuff that we wouldn't make that list. I thought I'd stick them in. I'll show you the wheel bit. So I put in the Nintendo 3DS as well. Now you'll get on the 3DS there's a fair few games that'll probably be unplayable. Again, I've left them in there for future patches, but it's you'll get too much slowdown on it, and it's set on its lowest resolution, and you'll still put it out again. Put a random one on Mario and Luigi themes, and this might be one. But you'll get certain games on this that are unplayable, like I say, because it's not powerful basically. Even for a little system like this. It's not the computer, obviously, it's the emulator. But that'd be one way you can click through. It's a bonus system that I stuck on. I took out most of the normal DS games off to put some of them on. Ports is what's built into that. So there's obviously it's like a Dreamcast arcade, Sega 1000, Master System, Genesis, Game Gear. So you can see these Saturn. Saturn. If you go, the default core that I set to is Yaba-san Shiro, and basically I set it on that because you can come in it and change the rendering resolution. You can put it on 4K if you've got a 4K telly, and it'll run. It looks really weird being in 4K, but you can put 1080p on that. Now what you've got, there's 3 different cores of the Saturn. So if you try and load a game, we'll see if this works. If you try and load a game that doesn't work, try one of the other cores. I'm pretty sure that every single game I've tried, and I've been for about 100 odd Sega Saturn games, every single game I tried, if one core didn't work, one of the other ones definitely worked. So it's just a case of going, trying, pressing start, advanced game, and just trying a different emulator. I started going through them all, and I was saving them all if they didn't work, and I got down to like D or something, and I was losing more to live doing it. So the thing is, I can go through every single game on the system, try and make everything run, and then somebody might only click 200 games out of the 20,000, so it's pointless doing it all, every single one, if you can quickly fix it yourself. Chop on with this anyway. Like I say, I want to quickly show the PC, so I don't want the video to take 2 hours. As you see, it's scaled that up to 1080p. Take mine as sort of PlayStation 1 day Sega Saturn one. There's some decent games on Sega Saturn. It was not a massively popular system, but some really good games on it. 32X Dreamcast. So the Dreamcast is the one where it uses a different emulator. So if we put a random game on, I'm not going to watch the emulator. It takes about 8 hours to load. It doesn't take 8 hours to load. You have to click through all the FMV and stuff. So on the Dreamcast games, you press back, and then that's the emulator on here, where you can go in. You can change. If you take the bezels off the side, you can see it. You can change if it's a multi-game disc. You might need disc 2. You can go in that menu and change the disc to disc 2 and stuff like that. Again, I'll show all this on a instructional video. But I believe all the Dreamcast games run 1080p. I can't remember that. I know they're definitely the Dreamcast emulator is brilliant. So it's, you can put it on a bit of a lesser system and have all these games running really good full speed. No issue. So, I'll quit out of that. Spectrum. Neo Geo CD. Random game. Oops. I don't know if that's because I pressed the wrong button. I don't know. Some of these might not load. I don't know where I pressed the wrong button. Yeah, obviously I did. I'm being impatient. There we go. Quit out. PlayStation 1134, same again, but PlayStation. Oops, press the wrong button. Hold it on. Select. Advanced system options. The cores duck station. And it's set at 5 times resolution, which is 1080p. I'm pretty sure every single game on PlayStation will run 1080p. No, not load that. Yeah, I'll load that. again, if you find any game that doesn't work, you can change the cores. That applies to every single system. So I set it to the one. I don't know what this one. I set it to the cores that I think will be the, you know, like the more compatibility. So you can see that's upscaled it to 1080p with the graphics on it. The thing is, when you play these retro games, it's crazy because you remember them as looking really good, like the PlayStation. If you put an original PlayStation game on it, it looks terrible. And then you come on right now, you upscale this to 1080p and you think, well, that's what it looked like anyway. Well, if you put a PlayStation on the side of it, it's nowhere near. But it's weird. You always think that everything run really, really good and really crisp back in day PlayStation 2 and that. You see the graphics on them nowadays and they're crap. Anyway, quit out. PlayStation 2, I showed you God of War 2. I'll do another quick random game. Not that one. Model camera. So this looks like it could be another one that's going to take a long time to load. Some PlayStation games take about 30-40 seconds to load up. Some, you know, like God of War, it takes bloody ages. But then some, you know, you might even think about graphics. Some you click on them and they'll load up within bloody 5 seconds. But I'm never a massive fighting fan anyway, fighting games. I'm building another system at the minute that's going to sort of shadow this a bit. It's a bit of a beast. It's got like 7.5 terabytes worth of hard driving. It's got a RX 570 graphics card. It's an i5 950, 9500. Sorry, 16 gig of RAM in it, and it's quite it's an half decent gaming piece. Not, you know, not with today's standard, but I put Red Dead Redemption and all that sort of stuff on it, and Grand Theft Auto. It runs them all really good. This system runs Red Dead Redemption 2, but you have to put it on the lowest settings and it doesn't run at full speed. Grand Theft Auto runs fine on it. Again, here, I'm not going to go in too long because I want to get the video wrapped up. It's just to basically show you everything. Quit. PlayStation 2, I'll quickly go down. Show you some games. Another thing, if you haven't been through them all, but like that there, you'll get this video come up and say that this game is not playable. So when you scrape it, if you scrape it through a screen scraper, that's what it'll come up with. This game is not playable. So I haven't managed to get through them all yet. Sometimes you'll find there's a video here that doesn't do it because I'm trying now. Every time one of them games has said this game is not playable, I've clicked it, it's loaded up and we're fine. So I don't know why it does it, it's a pain in the arse. But sometimes if you go on to scrape, you will find a different video for it. Obviously this one didn't have one then, but a lot of the ones that I've tried, I've been managed to change the video file for them. So, I mean, it says it's not playable, and it will be. There might be the odd one in there that isn't, but I've never found one. I've clicked on probably, like I say, I've clicked on loads of them and it said it's not playable. I've clicked on every single one's loaded up and I've started playing it, so I don't know why they're pissed about it now, I don't know. Anyway, quit out. Now PSP, I will say, what I've done with PSP is, I don't understand why it started doing it. I've changed it to the Liberto PP, because on the standalone version, which is better, because you can change the rendering resolution there, look, stuff like that. You can do it on this, but you go internally into it. But what I found was when I was going on the PPSSPP, a lot of the games won't load. I'd have to go down and change the rendering mode here to buffered rendering and no skip rendering and whatever else, and it was really starting to pee me off basically going through all games. Don't know why I did it, because I didn't used to do it. So basically now, if you load it up, it's through that liberative curve, and I'll show you quickly. I'll just load this game up. Again, you can turn that bezel off if you don't want that. The PPS, the PlayStation Portable games look really good full screen anyway. So that's what I will do with it. In fact, I'll do that in a sec. Again, this is on PPSP. It's got, you can, it's not on that main one. You can save state there. Anyway, I'll show you this. So, first of all, we'll go on to Advanced System Options, Decorations, and I will turn that off. And then, on this game, I will change it to the PPSSPP. And see if it loads. Well, that one's loaded. I didn't want it to be fair. But that's where what you'll find is, which I'll quickly show you on the thing. Let me load that save game. Oh no, it's not saved it now because it's on the different core. So now if you press your Xbox button and your green button, it will bring up the PPSSPP menu where you can go in and change all the controls. You can click save state there and it will save it, and then press it again and it's there. Whatever you saved, you can just click load state. It's easy, but come out to it again. And I know full well that we'll go to Buzz, the quiz Buzz, which has gone on to there. Right, Brain UK. So this is set on the other core. This is set on the Liberto. Now what you get with the Liberto core is broken because it won't save your games. You can save them automatically by pressing your Xbox and your blue button. Like that, it'll save it. But sometimes you can't go on. This is a game that I know you can't do on, that's why I've saved it. So I'll quickly load it to show you what I mean. Save data as corrupt. That's what it'll do on that core. It will not save the game. So, but on motion, you can just skip through it and then do your save state like that, and not worry about it. This, and I'm sure there's probably some others now where it's asking you to select a profile.
Okay, select your contestant.
When you try and move on it won't let you at all. It just keeps saying, "Do you want to move on?" I'll try it now. Yeah, look. The member sequence change continue. Yes. And then you're just going to be stuck in a loop and not be able to play the game. So, quit out of it. Change it to the PPSSPP core. Now, if it doesn't load, you go on down onto the rendering mode and change the skip buffer effects. But now, on the actual PPSSPP, the save games all work fine. It's just on the core that they don't work. So if you're playing a game that you really want to save through the game as it's intended, you can just change the emulator core on it. So now when it tries to save here, do you want to create a thing? Click OK and it will save perfectly. Confirm, create save, yes. Save completed. On the other it'll say corrupted. So that's your thing for that. 2005. Quit out of it. Well, like I say, some of these PSP games look really good full screen. Taking mine, they're basically better than a PlayStation 2. So, some really good playable games in it. And there's 629. Anyway, LCD games, that's just a little trip down memory lane, play them. Anyway, so what I'll do now, I'm going to press start. Oh no, I'm not. In fact, sorry, I totally forgot about something. which is one of the other main things. Press red. Go down to Nintendo. Nintendo Wii, what we totally forgot about. 176 games, Wii, random game. I don't know you play this with a Wii, but basically you've got a dolphin bar. Your dolphin bar works your Wii remote. Basically as well, you can go in and edit old games like Duck Hunt on the Nintendo Entertainment System. Nunchuk. Where's my nunchuk? Now I need, sorry about that. I didn't get that ready. So I'll plug the nunchuk in. Yeah, so the games like Duck Hunt, you can set it to have the your Wii remote as the zapper, so you can play the old games. Also the light gun games, the shooting games on the arcade main, they automatically set. If you change the mode button on top of the dolphin bar to mode 1, they're all automatically working. So you can play any shooting game. I'm not going to lie and say they're perfect, because I was playing one game and you're basically shooting them in the foot and getting a headshot, so I don't know how that works. But the Wii works really good. There's an odd game that you get a little bit of slowdown on the Wii. So you can so anyway, I'm not going to stop on it long. But go down. There's your Mario Kart, the Wii Sports, so you can play anything GoldenEye. I think that when you plug that, when you load that, it will work on the Xbox. You only see what you got plugged in, not the controller and nunchuk. Your Mario Kart, Need for Speeds. Super Mario Brothers Wii, super newest. Well, that's new, and that's sorry, that's newer, and that's new. So I'll have a quick look at that. Unplug your nunchuk if it's a game that doesn't need it. Sometimes it can cause an issue if you've got it plugged in. Oh, the Wii remote sideways. I'll tell you what's good with this one. It's surprising that there's like zero input lag from, even though it's like working as a remote and you've got the remote sideways. It's really responsive. Same again, quit out. But yeah, I haven't got a list of all the games that's on them. As you can see, look, Resident Evil 4, Resident Evil, you've got most of the best games in here. Sonic All-Star Racing, Mario Galaxy 1 and 2, Smash Bros. Brawl, so they're Dead 2 as well. I had a quick mess about with them. You can get them little light ones where you plug your controller in. You can get them off eBay for £5 or £6 or whatever. And they're really playable there, really good fun. Wii Sports Resort. Obviously you'll need a motion plus thing in your remote to play the Wii Sports Resort, which you can get off eBay again for probably £5 or £6, I don't know. That's that. Anyway, so now what we'll do is, I can't remember what I've really yet. Yeah, anyway, so what I'll do now is quit the system, shut down. I'll do this so you can see how quick it loads up. Unplug the USB, power on, and now it's going to boot into Windows. It's basically a real good system, you know. You can use it for a bit of office work. If you haven't got much space, you can have it next to your telly or whatever. You can play all your retro games. These are the games here, what will be on it, I'll be left on. Quickly show you a couple of these. Obviously my Steam games will be deleted off. faster than that. But it's by no stretch like a full-on gaming PC. But you know, you paid £600-700 for all keyboard here. But for those who like the Minecraft and
Race for the top position. Game over.
I'm not going to load all these up either. So, yeah, that's just telling you that it's put some better compatibility settings in for you if you want to rerun them. So Sonic and Sega All-Star Racing, Tomb Raider Underworld, Amazing Spider-Man 2, Halo 2, Soul Calibur 6, Outrun Coast to Coast, Flat Out, Ultimate Carnage, and Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. I'll leave them on. These here, oh no, sorry, there's Quantum of Solace as well, and Assassin's Creed. Now the ones here, I don't think Dirt Rally's downloaded, to be fair. I didn't leave it going. Just to show you quickly, Anno 2070, it'll load up Steam. Show you a bit of a sort of role-playing game, and then you've got Grand Theft Auto 5, Red Dead Redemption. I'll show you the Grand Theft Auto 5, and I'll show you a couple of them. Just this to be an update. Text, sorry about that. I'm laying on the floor with my mouse on the carpet, so that's why it's a bit twitchy. I've already clicked yes. I don't know why the hell it's doing that. I'm not putting my password in. No. Anyway. I can show that on a different. It runs fine. It's on like medium to, I think medium to high graphics set on that, and it runs absolutely fine. But I'm not messing about typing my password in just in case it comes out on screen and I'm not editing and messing about this video. So. It's like an entry level sort of gaming PC. You know, it's not going to run all the newest games on full settings. I'll show you Red Dead Redemption 2 after this, and I'll probably call it a day at that then. I think this is set on it's set on 1920 with 1080, but I think it's set so you're on the mid settings on it. Some might be mid to high. So this is basically a brilliant all-round system. You've got your Wii, you've got your Batocera on your retro games, and then you can go in and play some PC games as well. For the money with the graphics card. So brand new. It's got 2 terabyte, 1 terabyte hard drive, both Western resistant hard drives. So, and even the wee Dolphin board is brand new. That was 32 quid, I think.
Your son.
Come on. Shit, come on. Damn. This nigga must got the baby dick.
When I did
Like that? Bobby big dick on a nigga, huh?
Shit, for real, homie.
Which ain't great for PC. It's like,
87 if you ain't gon' give it, motherfucker, I'ma take it. Gonna try to erase it, just to bring home the bacon. For me to see heaven.
Right up here, homie. I'm about to go nice and slow for your bitch ass. Okay.
Hey, remember we gotta be careful with these rides, homie. Cause Simeon ain't about to dock my pay again.
Homie, man, if you need some bread, I can hook you up with JB's tow truck. It ain't got glamour, but it's some money to be made.
So him and Tanya can smoke crack in peace? Homie, I'm good.
I'm schooling your ass, boy.
Please, homie.
You little dick niggas do like them little cars.
Shit, I heard you talk, homie. You big everywhere except where it counts.
trying to quit it like Batocera again.
Fool not.
Start. Try and get my mouse working on my carpet. Exit game. Quickly show Red Dead Redemption. Yes. But as well, it's well, your C drive is obviously your C drive there, which has got 238 gig on it. That's your SSD. That's brand new. Batocera. That's just a new system files and stuff for Batocera. And then there's 584 gig free. Obviously, I'm going to take all these games off here. Grand Theft Auto, Red Dead Redemption, are like 100 gig each, sort of thing. So that'll be right down. So, in fact, I'll quit that O2 meter. But you don't have to keep them games that I left on. I'll just leave them on there. It's a bit of a bonus there, I think.
A famous explorer once said that the extraordinary is in what we do, not who we are. I'd finally set out to make my mark, to find adventure, but instead
Red Dead Redemption 2 will take a little while to load, and I've got stuff to do, and it's done. Red Dead Redemption 2. I'll load that up, and that'll be it. I'm texting while I'm doing, excuse me. Again, like I said, this is set on the lowest settings, and it's only, you're hitting around about 30 frames per second on it. It's, you know, I didn't want to hide it and make out as if it's some sort of beast of a gaming PC or something that's going to run everything. So But to be fair, it's not far playable at what it is. Yeah, I'm doing a couple more of these. Like I say, I've got one that's mainly built now. I've just ordered a new CPU fan for it because the Intel one, it's got the standard Intel one and then it's crap. It sounds like an airplane when it gets going, so I've ordered an actual fan for it. It's got 7 terabyte, like I said, it's going to be a bit of a beast for these older systems. That runs this Red Dead Redemption 2 pretty good. A lot higher settings. But the hard drives in there alone, one of them is a brand new 4 terabyte hard drive from Western Digital, which is £90. The other one's a 3 terabyte hard drive, which is from CEX, which has got a 2 year warranty with it, and then it's got a 500 gig SSD in it.
He ain't been seen in days.
This way. Last I know, John was headed up the river.
For all we know, he kept riding north and never looked back.
He wouldn't leave. Not like that.
Wouldn't be the first time.
Come on, let's take a look.
Let's hope it ain't more of O'Driscoll's boys.
Well, seems somebody left. Recently. And that way.
Sure, well, come on now.
There's some tracks leading to the river. Yeah! Let's cross. See, they continue up that way.
Anyway, I'm going to wrap that up like that. This will shut down again, show you the SSD. That was with Steam running as well. It knocks it down. It's fairly fast. Thanks for watching.